Today we are talking about different terms related to the lens. Without the understanding of these terms, we cannot study the lens properly. That's why let's talk about them. The first one is center of curvature, second principal axis, and this third optical center, fourth principal focus and focal length. These are five major terms related to the lens, and that's why I want to show all these terms with the help of diagram also. That's why I'm giving here a space. What is center of curvature? Look at this. Let's say this is a sphere, glass sphere. Let's say this is a glass sphere, and this another glass sphere overlapping the previous one. Now in the middle part, look at this, is a convex lens. Now we can say that this is the center of this glass sphere, and this is the center of this glass sphere, and this can be denoted by C1, this can be denoted by C2. Okay, in the same way, let's talk about another also, this convex lens, but I won't talk about concave lens also. Look at this, is a glass sphere, let's see. And here in the middle, let's say we have a concave lens. Look at this. And let's say C1, this point, is the center of this glass sphere, and this C2 is the center of this glass sphere. Now this is actually center of curvature. The C1 and C2 are center of curvature. In this case also, C1 and C2 are the center of curvature. Now how can we define center of curvature? We can define this way. Look at this. The center of the sphere of the glass by which surface of the lens is made is called center of curvature. Look at this, center of the sphere of the glass by which the surface of the lens, this surface of the lens is made by this glass sphere, and this surface is made by this glass sphere. In the same way, this surface of the lens is made by this glass sphere, and this surface is made by this glass sphere. That's why center of the sphere of the glass by which the surface of the lens is made is called center of curvature. That's why here we have C1 and C2. C2 are what? Center of curvature. Now let's go a little forward. I mean to say, we are going for something more than the center of curvature. Principal axis. What it means, principal axis? Look at this. We consider the glass sphere just now. This is a lens here made by the combination of these two glass sphere, a part of the glass sphere of these two. In the same way, we can say here another glass sphere, and when one of the portion of this glass sphere is taken, then this when one of this portion of these two glass sphere is taken, then another lens forms here. It is concave lens. Now this is center of curvature. This is center of curvature, just now I told you. This is another center of curvature of this glass sphere, and this is another center. A line which joins the center of curvature of two surfaces of the lens is actually principal axis. This is C1 and C2. C1, C2 is principal axis. Now, how can we define this principal axis? We can define principal axis this way. A line which joins the center of curvature. A line which joins the center of curvature of two surfaces of the lens is called principal axis of the lens. These are the lines which joins the center of curvature of two surfaces of the lens. That's why this way we can define principal axis. Now let's talk about another one. We have altogether 5 points. Optical center. What is it? Optical center means, let's say this is a convex lens. And this is a concave lens. Now, and we know about the principal axis also. Here we have principal axis. Yes. Now, optical center is a point on the principal axis within the lens. Within the lens, this is the principal axis. Within the lens, this is the principal axis. The point within the lens on principal axis, this one, through which light passes without bending. This way. If light comes from this side, it passes without bending. This way. This point is called optical center, and it is denoted by O, or it can be denoted by C also. Here also the same thing. This point is optical center through which light passes straight, whether it comes from this side or this side, any side. That's why, how can we define optical center? This way. Optical center is a point on the principal axis within the lens. Within the lens, that point through which the rays of light passes through a process without bending. It is denoted by O or C. Okay, this is the definition of optical center. Now we are talking about principal focus. What is it? Again, I want to show it with diagram. Let's say this is a convex lens and this is concave lens. Now this is principal axis which passes from the middle, and here we have principal axis this way. Now this is, let's say, bisector line which bisect the lens into two equal half. Okay. Now when a ray of light comes parallel to the principal axis this way, or another ray of light coming parallel to the principal axis, the rays of light coming parallel to the principal axis of the convex lens passes through a point of the principal axis after refraction this way. All of them passes through the same point after the refraction. All of them passes through the same point after the refraction. This point is actually called principal focus or simply focus and is denoted by F. But in this case, it is different. In concave lens, if the ray of light are coming parallel to the principal axis this way, the rays which are parallel to the principal axis, they appears to be coming from a point on the principal axis in the front side of the lens. From the front side of the lens, look at this, it appears, all these rays appears to be coming from a point of the principal axis after refraction. They appears to be coming from a single point, this point, Actually, light comes this way and refracts like this. Light comes this way and refracts like this. But all of them appears to be coming from a common point of the principal axis, that is called focus. This way, how can we define principal focus? It can be defined this way. Look at this. Principal focus, or simply focus, which is also called just the focus only. Simply focus of a lens is the point at which the ray of light originally parallel to the principal axis of the lens pass through or appear to come from. In case of concave lens, it appears to come from, but in case of convex lens, it appears to pass, not appears, it exactly passes through or appear to come from after refraction by the lens. This is denoted by F. This way we can define this principal focus, or simply the focus, sometimes called focus only. Okay, what is focal length? Actually, focal length, I want to show it with diagram again. This is, let's say, convex lens, and this is, let's say, concave lens, and this is the bisector line which bisects the lens equal into two equal parts, and this is principal axis, let's see. Now this is optical center, we know here it is, and this is what? Optical center. And the distance from optical, this is let's say focus. Focus lies on both the sides, because if light comes from this side, it passes through this focus, and focus lies on from optical center to the focus. I mean to say, focus lies at equidistance from optical center on both the sides. This is focus, here also focus. The distance between the optical center and focus of the lens, this is called focal length of the lens. Distance from optical center to the focus of the lens, this is called focal length of the lens. Look at this. Now, how can we define focal length? Look at this. Focal length of a lens is the distance between the optical center and the focus of the lens. It is represented by the letter F, small f. We have to be very careful about this. This is focal length is small f, but principal focus is capital F. This way we can define all these 5 terms, and we can understand all these 5 terms related to lens with the help of a diagram also. This much for today.